What's up guys, it's Jalissa and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. Today we are going to be tackling the age-old question in any hair community, but we're going to be focusing on the curly hair community, of course, because we're a curly hair channel. How often should you be washing your hair? This is a tricky subject because there are many different debates and standpoints on this topic. Okay, so the three main standpoints is that one, some people think that you don't need to wash your hair at all. You can just use water. You can just use water to get the dirt away or whatever is in your hair. The second standpoint is that you don't need to use shampoo or any clarifying shampoos. You just need a co-wash that'll get your dirt away and also keep your hair hydrated. And the third standpoint is that you should be using a shampoo at least once a month or once a week. To all of those points, I do only agree with two of them for different circumstances. I never agree that you shouldn't use shampoo at all because you get buildup. That's just life. You're gonna get buildup. Your scalp is gonna get dry. You can't fix those problems with just some water. The main takeaway from this video is that it varies how often you need to wash your hair. And what does it vary on? It varies on what your hair type is. I will be doing a video on how to tell what type of hair type you have, so look out for that. So make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button so you can see when that video comes out. Also click the bell notification to be notified so you'll know when it's coming. Alright, so let's get into the different types. So we'll start from the least textured to the most textured. Okay, so with the wavy and loose hair, so we're talking type 2 hair, you can get away with washing your hair 2 to 3 times a week. It should never be every day. It should be as needed. You're going to experience a lot more buildup, a lot more oil, like an itchy scalp. You're going to experience that more often because the oil in your scalp is going to travel to the bottom of your hair faster than people with more texture. For people with curly and coily hair, I'm talking the type 3s and the type 4s, I would recommend doing at least once a week. Now, just because as someone who has a good amount of texture, my hair, I put a lot of product in my hair anyway, so of course, even if you're using products that have the least amount of buildup, you're gonna get some kind of buildup either in your scalp or in your strands, and your hair just won't look as good as it would. Now, I do recommend only using shampoo once a week. Shampoo, I'm not talking about clarifying shampoos. A regular mild shampoo, something without the harsh sulfates. Anything harsh to the hair should not be going in your hair more than once a week. And I do have a nice video on some really good mild shampoos. I'm going to link that into my TikTok. I did make a TikTok about it. So make sure you follow me on TikTok to get some of those tips. Now, with using shampoo once a week, if your hair does start looking like a little dull, then I like to refresh in the middle of the week with a co-wash. So my absolute favorite co-wash of all time is the As I Am Coconut Co-Wash. That one is amazing. It does the job and my hair feels so luscious afterwards, and it has some really great ingredients to also make sure to hydrate and also to make sure your scalp is clean. So I would definitely go ahead and pick up that product. You will not regret it. Now, if you are someone with more coily hair, you can get away with going more than 1 week without washing your hair, as long as your hair is still clean and healthy by that time. Once your hair starts getting pretty dull or it's getting itchy, your scalp is getting itchy, then you really want to wash your hair. So I'd say the minimum amount of time you want to wait is a week. You don't want to wash as much as people with type 2 hair, or sometimes even as much as type 3. Sometimes you can skip a week, do 1 week of co-wash and then another week of shampooing. just listen to what your hair is. If your hair is like super dry, like really dry from the last time you washed it, then you probably want to go in with a co-wash instead. But after you use that co-wash, you definitely want to use a shampoo the next time and get a really good heavy deep conditioner to make sure your hair isn't dry. For this reason, as most people know in the curly girl community, it is because us with more textured hair, the oils from our hair shaft take way longer to travel to the bottom and our hair gets drier longer, so we really don't want to strip too much of the moisture throughout our wash day. But the thing that you all need to take from this, no matter what your hair type is that we're not washing every day. That's clipped. That's canceled. We're not washing our hair every day because you're going to make your hair pretty dull. Even if you're using a good deep conditioner, you might overhydrate. That is a thing that happens. You might overhydrate your hair, or you may, if you use a lot of protein deep conditioners like I do, you might get protein sensitive. Now, I am going to be talking about protein in hair too. That is another video that's going to be coming out soon, so make sure that you are subscribed. That's my subscription plug for the day. My best advice to give anyone with curly hair is to wash your hair as needed. I like to follow a schedule because it's easier on my lifestyle. I know when I need to wash my hair, and usually my hair is going pretty dull at around the same time all the time. After a couple days of not washing it and leaving it alone and just taking it out of my headscarf, it's pretty dull. I think the longest I've ever went without doing anything to my hair is probably 5 days. That's the longest I can go without doing anything to my hair. This is a really good tip to follow to see if you need to wash your hair, and potentially you might need to clarify your hair. If you want to know more about clarifying, I have a video up already. It's going to be in this card over here for you to check out, and it talks about what are good clarifying products, also when and how to clarify your hair. But a good tip to follow is if you're getting this waxy kind of dandruff, it's not really skin. It's not like real dandruff, it's not skin dandruff, it's just like, it's most likely product buildup, which comes from using a lot of silicones or just using a lot of products in general. Obviously, if you're using silicones, you're gonna get product buildup way more often than someone who doesn't use silicones in their hair. So be prepared to really have to go into your hair all the time. I do not suggest using products with silicones in it, at least not bad silicones. But if you absolutely have to use this product with silicone, like, I don't know what would make you have to. Maybe it's the only product that works for your hair, I don't know. But if you absolutely have to use something with bad silicones, then you're gonna have to sacrifice an extra wash day. And if you have a lot of hair, I don't know if you're gonna wanna do that. I know it takes me a really long time to wash my hair. I don't really like washing my hair all the time. I mean, I like how it looks after. I don't have to do anything and my scalp feels clean. But no one has time to be washing their hair all the time, especially if you're washing it at night. You don't want to sleep on wet hair too often because you can get mold and all those things. It's another video coming out. Now, I don't know if this is going to apply to people with curly hair because in the curly hair community, we don't really like heat. That's point blank period. We're not really into using that heat. But if you are using heat a lot, you're going to want to wash your hair less. Your hair becomes very sensitive after being manipulated. Like, using heat on your hair is super manipulation, and your hair gets pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Your hair gets pretty brittle, weak. You get like, your hair gets weak. So you don't want to tug and pull and detangle and do all that while your hair is super weak. So if you're using a lot of heat in your hair, you want to be careful. And I'm not talking about diffusing. I don't think diffusing does anything too crazy to your hair to make it super manipulative if you're doing it right. But if you're like flat ironing a lot, you're using a curling iron a lot, you're doing all kinds of heat, then you want to wash less. So overall, from this video, all I can tell you is that it's going to depend and you should wash as needed. A good tip for wavy hair is to do it 2 to 3 times a week, and for curly and coily hair is to do it at least once a week. Once a week, have your hair start fresh. If you want to have super moist hair all the time and you don't want to bother putting it in any protective styles or buns, or you just want to wear your hair out all the time, you might want to co-wash in the middle of the week instead of doing all kind of shampoo again. And as I said in my previous video from before, if you should be doing a clarifying shampoo once a month. So if you want those clarifying recommendations, make sure to check out that video to get more information. And yeah, that is the end of this video. It was a pretty, I'm not sure if it was short. I'm not gonna know if it was a short video until I edit it, but this is a very straight to the point type of video. I hope that I cleared up some misconceptions or any questions anybody had about washing your hair. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said before, make sure that you're subscribed. Press that bell notification to be notified every time I upload, so you're always in the know. All right, I love you guys. Bye.